owners of the land on which we meet today and recognise the living culture of the Gunai-Kurnai people and their unique contribution that they make to this region, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and to the broader Aboriginal community. As I said, welcome today. It's a very special day for those people that are taking the becoming Australian citizens. And it's also pleasing to see friends and family here to come along to support people through this process. I indeed have actually gone through it myself, and it is wonderful when you have your family there as well to take photos and be part of the memories of the day. We are pleased that we are also able to live stream this ceremony, so those that can't be here in person are able to watch online on this special occasion anywhere around the world, which technology is amazing these days, and it really does bring us closer. Before we formally commence, I extend an invitation for you to take videos and photos throughout the ceremony. There will also be an opportunity to have your photo taken with the Mayor and other dignitaries after the event. A few requests, a bit of housekeeping, I guess. I'd ask that any electronic devices are either turned off or onto silent. Secondly, for our candidates, can please ensure that your name label is clearly displayed during the presentation of the certificates. It would also be appreciated if everyone is able to stay until after the national anthem is sung before you leave, which will occur towards the end of the ceremony. Light refreshments will be served, and I encourage and welcome everyone to stay for that at the end of the ceremony. I would like to just acknowledge a few dignitaries we have with us today. Our Mayor, Councillor Natalie O'Connell, who you'll hear from shortly. The Honourable Edward O'Donoghue, Member for Eastern Victoria, welcome and thank you. This is the first ceremony that Ed's been to for us for some time, so welcome. We also have a number of councillors here, Councillor Ben Buckley, Councillor John White and Councillor Joe Rotino. Thank you for your attendance. I think that is all the councillors that we have here today. I do have some apologies. Apologies from the Honourable Tim Bull, Member for Gippsland East, Melina Barth, the MLC Member for Eastern Victoria, Mr Jeff Berman, the Member for Eastern Victoria, the Honourable Darren Chester, Federal Member for Gippsland, and the Honourable Jane Garrett, Member for Eastern Victoria. Today's citizenship ceremony is being conducted by the authority of the Minister for Home Affairs in accordance with the Australian Citizenship Act. Presiding over the ceremony is Councillor Natalie O'Connell, Mayor of East Gippsland Shire. The ceremony completes the legal requirements prescribed by the Australian Citizenship Act, which requires each new citizen to make an Australian citizenship pledge. It also provides an opportunity for us to welcome you and celebrate your decision to become Australian citizens and all that it brings with it. It now gives me great pleasure to invite the Mayor, Councillor Natalie O'Connell, to address you. Madam Mayor.
Thanks, Anthony. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd also like to commence proceedings by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we are gathered here today. I recognise the living culture of the Gunai-Kurnai people and the unique contribution that they make to our region. I pay my respects to their elders past and present and to the Aboriginal community. I'm really delighted to welcome you all here today on behalf of East Gippsland Shire Council and particularly our candidates who will receive their Australian citizenship. I also extend a warm welcome to my fellow councillors, Councillor Buckley, Councillor White and Councillor Rotino, and also the Honourable Edward O'Donoghue, Member for Eastern Victoria. Today is also another special day in that it is actually Australian Citizenship Day, which is celebrated every year on the 17th of September. It is a special day to reflect on being an Australian citizen. Active citizens strengthen Australia by working to improve their local community. Australian Citizenship Day is a day to recognise the contributions of inspiring citizens in our community. It was launched in 2001 to increase community awareness of Australian citizenship. 17th of September was chosen because it is the anniversary of the renaming of the Nationality and Citizenship Act 1948 to the Australian Citizenship Act 1948. Australian citizenship is the bond that unites all Australians, regardless of whether we are born in Australia or have decided to make Australia our home. Taking up Australian citizenship is a serious step. It is a symbol of your commitment to the country which you have chosen to make your home. Just as importantly, the conferment of citizenship is a symbol of Australia's commitment to you, as it is the step which makes you full and equal members of the Australian community. The Parliament recognises that Australian citizenship represents full and formal membership of the Commonwealth of Australia. Australian citizenship is a common bond involving reciprocal rights and obligations, uniting all Australians while respecting their diversity. The Parliament recognises that persons granted Australian citizenship enjoy these rights and undertake to accept the obligations by pledging loyalty to Australia and its people, by sharing their democratic beliefs, by respecting their rights and liberties, and by upholding and obeying the laws of Australia. However, no one who becomes an Australian citizen is expected to renounce their cultural identity. The customs and traditions you have grown up with are part of your heritage. It is important that you maintain these links with your past, for this cultural mix is what makes Australia a unique and special country. Today's ceremony marks the final stage in your decision to become an Australian citizen, the greatest compliment you can make to the people of Australia. Australian citizenship is the common bond which unites us all. Australia respects the diverse cultural inheritance of its citizens, and we are honoured that you have chosen to become an Australian citizen today. With citizenship comes responsibilities as well as rights. The greatest responsibility is to participate fully in our community, to strengthen the freedom and openness which makes Australia unique. We in East Gippsland are delighted that you have chosen to make your home here in our Shire, and I'm sure that everyone here today will agree with me when I say that it is truly a great place to live. I would now like to read a message from the Honourable David Coleman, MP, Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs. Today, you become an Australian citizen. We are immensely proud of what we have achieved as a nation, and we welcome you in joining us. Our history and culture has been forged over thousands of years, first through Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and more recently with people from all corners of the earth. Australia has succeeded as a nation by embracing and defending our national values. We believe in freedom, in the rule of law, in democracy. We believe that all people are equal regardless of their cultural background, gender, race, or religion. We are a resilient nation. We have overcome world wars, depression, drought and flood. We stand with other strong democracies in helping to defend and protect hard-fought freedoms. By committing yourself to Australia today, you have chosen to embrace our nation and its values. Like so many millions of other people throughout our history, you have decided to take on the rights and responsibilities of Australian citizenship. On behalf of the Australian Government, I congratulate you on reaching this very special day. It's now your responsibility to join all of us in building an even stronger nation. That concludes the Minister's message. On behalf of the councillors of the Shire of East Gippsland and all its people, I wish you good health, happiness and prosperity, and may you achieve your personal dreams for your future here in Australia.
Thank you, Natalie, for those words and for reading the Minister's message. To our candidates for citizenship today, as an Australian citizen, you are entitled under Australian law to the same rights that are enjoyed by people born in Australia. By becoming an Australian, you are showing that you want to have your say in Australia's future. The Australian Citizenship Pledge calls upon new citizens to make a commitment of loyalty to Australia and its people. Candidates have the choice of making an oath or affirmation in pledging their loyalty as citizens of Australia. I now invite the following candidates taking the oath under God to please stand in your place. Drina Albor and Danilo Alboro. Ah, okay. Too young to stand. Very good. Alexander Dashenko, thank you, and Natalia Krakushka. Marina Gorgi, Chechnya Hyde, Chianda Ingham, Sharon Jose, Carolyn Lomas, Cyril Manonsong, Madam Mayor.
Please repeat this pledge line by line after me. From this time forward under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Thank you. Please take a seat.
I now invite the following candidates taking the affirmation to please stand in your place. Beverly Forshaw, Jan Garden, Janice Kelly, Margaret Lawrence, Tuan Nguyen, Jiu Zhang,
Please repeat this pledge line by line after me. From this time forward, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Thank you. Please be seated. Mr. O'Donoghue, would you like to come and help present?
I think the first thing we should do is congratulate our new citizens. What do you think? Okay, so we now have some presentations to make. So I will call up individuals, and my apologies if I don't get all the names right. You've challenged me today. So Drina Albero and Danilo Albero. Alexander Jashenko and Natalia Krakovsha. Beverly Forshaw. Jan Garden. Marina Gorgi. Chechina Hyde. Chanda Ingham. Sharon Jose. Carolyn Lomez. Cyril Manasong. Tuan Nguyen. Dung Tai. Jiu Zhang. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have one more, Christopher Beale, and can I apologise for not reading out your name earlier, Christopher, but I understand you still took the oath, so that's all that matters. Thank you. That's not it. What did I miss? Janice Kelly, please come forward. You're not... Not everything's going to plan today, is it?
Please join me in congratulating these new Australian citizens. We welcome you and extend our sincere best wishes for a happy and successful future. Well done. I would now like to introduce the Honourable Edward O'Donoghue to say a few words.
Thanks very much, Natalie, and to you and your councillor colleagues, Councillors White, Buckley and Renato, and to the Mayor, Anthony Basford. What a great pleasure it is to be here today at such a happy and joyous occasion as residents of East Gippsland take the pledge to become Australian citizens. And it's often said that Australia is a lucky country. And people say Australia's lucky because we're blessed with natural resources, with mineral wealth, and the resources we need to make us a wealthy country. But there's lots and lots of countries, some of the poorest in the world, that have untold mineral wealth, untold natural resources, but their people live in absolute poverty. We're blessed to have democratic institutions, the freedom of the press, the rule of law, independent courts, and a democracy. But institutions are nothing without people. So Australia is a great country, a successful country, I think the best country in the world, not because of its resources, although they help, not just because of their institutions, important as they are, but because of its people. And all of you who have taken the pledge today to become Australian citizens, build on that human resource, build on the people that we have in Australia who are committed to Australia. And whether you've been here for a year or 20 years, it's such a significant step to take out citizenship, to swear that oath, to take that allegiance to our country, our democratic principles, and everything that makes us such a great country. So today, all of you who have taken that step, you help to build on our success, and you can write your own Australian story for you, your children, your grandchildren, as we move into the future. Because there's nothing you can't achieve, there's nothing you can't do as an Australian citizen. Australia really is a land of opportunity. So it's my great pleasure to be here for such a happy and joyous ceremony, to congratulate you, but most of all to say thank you. Thank you for being part of the Australian story. Thank you for taking the pledge to commit to our great country and be part of its future. So to all of you who have taken citizenship today, I wish you and your families long and happy futures here in Australia as you write your own Australian story for you and your children and your grandchildren. Thank you so much for including me today.
Thanks for your words, Mr. O'Donoghue. They were very true. Well, this morning we witnessed our new Australian citizens pledge their commitment to Australia and its people. Many Australians have not had the opportunity to do so because they were born here. Participation in an affirmation ceremony is voluntary, and has no legal effect. But it is a symbolic way to increase awareness of what it means to be an Australian and helps us build pride in being a citizen of this great nation. I now invite all Australians who wish to publicly affirm their commitment to Australia to be upstanding and join in reciting the affirmation. Those who are not Australian citizens but still wish to declare loyalty to Australia may join in after the second line. So please everyone stand. As an Australian citizen, I affirm my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I uphold and obey. Thank you. Please remain standing and join with me in singing the Australian National Anthem, Advance Australia Fair.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Madam Mayor, dignitaries, visiting members. That concludes the official proceedings for today, but there is a morning tea. I nearly said afternoon tea there. It hasn't been that long a ceremony, has it? There is a morning tea, so please stay. Get photos with the Mayor and councillors and with our Eastern member, Edward O'Donoghue, here visiting today. We're welcome. If you need us to assist in that, we can do that. But please, again, just finally, let's welcome our new citizens and then enjoy some morning tea. Thanks, everyone.